Hello everybody, Kemo Sabi here, coming at you with another video. This one's off a webpage, EcoWatch, by the Surfrider Foundation, posted on May 3rd, 2018, 1 p.m. EST. Read it by Katie Day and Trent Hodges. The link between fossil fuels, single-use plastics, and climate change. When we think of plastic pollution, we think images of plastic bags on the beach, suffering marine life, and almost invisible smog of microplastics in our ocean. What often gets overlooked is the fact that conventional plastic is made from fossil fuels and is a product of the oil and gas industry. Traditionally made from petroleum byproducts, plastic in the U.S. is now commonly sourced from the nation's production of abundant and affordable natural gas liquids, NGLs. Ethane and propane get extracted and sent to a cracking facility where ethane is made into ethanol, and the foundation of polyethylene, the most common plastic in the world, frequently used for packaging bottles and synthetic clothing. At a dehydrogenation plant, propane is made into propylene, the foundation of polypropylene, a plastic commonly found in food packaging and vehicle manufacturing. The reason is simple: because of shale gas, it is more cost-effective to produce ethylene in the U.S. than about anywhere else in the world. Expert from American Chemistry Council. The U.S. natural gas boom has made plastic feedstocks really cheap and readily available. An estimated $50 billion will be invested into new expanded U.S. plastic production facilities, increasing production by roughly 50% in the next 10 years and tripling the amount of plastic exports by 2030. That includes 400 new plastic processing facilities in addition to plastic manufacturing facilities and plastic additive processing facilities, which can produce some significantly harmful chemicals, including phthalates and brominated flame retardants. In fact, in the U.S. alone, producers of polyethylene are expecting to increase production capacity as much as 75% by 2022, which is just 4 years. Industry explains that this increase of production is fueled by expected increase in demand for disposable plastics such as soft drinks and packaging by millennials in developed countries and growing consumer markets in developing countries. This means that much of the U.S. manufactured plastics are planned to be exported to developing countries where waste management services may not be properly equipped to handle the current, let alone a surge in non-biodegradable solid waste. This is disheartening news, but just as the proposal for offshore oil drilling off the U.S. ignores the fact that the world is moving towards renewable energy, the plastic industry fails to recognize the proliferation of social and political changes such as bag bans, foam bans, and society's refusal to accept an inundation of single-use plastic. The movement to reduce single-use plastic pollution has gone global. At the local level, cities across the U.S. has banned and restricted the unregulated use of wasteful single-use plastics, fueled by campaigns that Surfrider chapters and passionate communities have fought for. On the international side, in January 2018, the European Commission announced a Europe-wide strategy to reduce plastic pollution and ensure that all plastic in Europe is recyclable by 2030, 12 years. Even the UN Environment Programme has taken a strong stance against plastic pollution and started a global campaign to reduce marine debris from microplastics and single-use plastics by 2022, 4 years, but not now though. Though none of these actions alone signal an end to single-use plastics, they do show an increased resistance among cities, nations, and the international communities to reject products that are used once and thrown away to detriment of our waters and land and wildlife. Plastic pollution is an issue that demands worldwide cooperation, similar to climate change, as they are two sides of the same coin. As a product of extracting and refining fossil fuels for energy, the amount of plastic produced is influenced by the demand for and production of oil and gas. Industry analysts find the reduction of plastics from fossil fuel is only cost effective when the components not used for plastics are used for energy production, treating plastic more as a byproduct of the industry. Therefore, if we transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable energy and a healthy climate, we also encourage industry to transition away from producing wasteful single-use plastics. Plastic manufacturers assume demand for disposable plastics will continue to rise, despite evidence that global awareness of plastic pollution is growing and cultural attitudes are changing. Industry investments reflect a further underlying assumption that supplies of cheap hydrocarbons will remain the norm for decades to come, even as the global community has begun to phase out the very fossil fuels upon which plastics producers demand. Expert from Center for International Environmental Law. This makes the fight against single-use plastic pollution more compelling and holistic, realizing that good choices in renewable energy and climate-friendly decisions may also help reduce single-use plastic production and pollution, and vice versa. We need your help to reduce the consumption of single-use plastics and fossil fuels. Support bans on harmful single-use products through local campaigns. So support bans on the harmful use of products and through the local campaigns or whatever in your communities. Support ocean-friendly restaurants and local businesses that avoid plastic waste while spreading awareness of the issue. Reduce your reliance on greenhouse gas emissions by driving less when possible, investing in high-efficiency lighting and appliances when possible and applicable, and buying locally when possible and applicable. Adopt a single-use plastic-free lifestyle by investing in reusable cups and cutlery, purchasing a plastic-free lifestyle by investing in, proper cups, cutlery, not getting plastic cups, paper cups, that kind of stuff, purchasing loose produce instead of packaged produce, and saying no to plastic straws, bags, bottles, and takeaway containers. Take action and ask our federal leaders to protect our coast for new offshore drilling. And so that's it. Hopefully this brings a little bit more awareness about the plastic industry and possible changes that could be done just to essentially just phase it out. So it does kind of sound a little crappy that these American companies are pushing ahead to be producing a bunch of plastic and sending it to these countries that can't handle the waste. Anyways, that's interesting. So leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Consider sharing the video and maybe even subscribing. Kemo, Sabi, we'll see you in the next one. There'll be a few more coming today.